From behind closed doors, and today I'm very excited because I'm using some new technology which I'm unfamiliar with, which is split screen and screen recording to make my videos easier, because before I was doing a lot of editing in order to create these videos, and so hopefully this will save me a bit of time and energy. So the video I'm looking at today, I've done a video on this guy before. I'll put a link in the description somewhere here. It's Alex from Playing with Fire and Should You Lie to Get Laid? Now, my answer to this is no, absolutely not. I do everything based on honesty, trust and respect. And I do things based on those principles. And I have my interactions with people based on those principles. I'm not a pickup artist. I don't go around picking up girls. I interact based on honesty, trust and respect. I don't play any games. My reoccurring thing is the only winning move is not to play the game. It's a line that I heard from Patrice O'Neill based on War Games, and which was an old film. And all these other guys on here will be saying like, oh, you know, you got to game her and game her this, that, and they always use the word game. And there is even a book called The Game. And I believe that the only winning move is not to play the game. It's just to have honesty, trustful, respectful relationships. And so I absolutely disagree that you should lie in any way whatsoever when you're in a relationship. The moment that you deceive someone else, you're really deceiving yourself. So you can't lie without breaking a contract with yourself on some level. So it's pretty much a selfish reason as to why I go in with honesty. It's not because I want to be a good person so much. It's because I want to be a person of integrity. So let's see what Alex has got to say.
So guys, in this video we're going to bring you should lie to get laid, and what are the general ethics that you should have when it comes to dating. You guys know that according to YouTube analytics, over 70% of the people who watch our videos have not subscribed to the channel. So before we get into this video, I want all of you guys to hit the subscribe button and comment below, I subscribe, and we will do our best to personally respond to every single comment. All right, so I'm going to preface this video by saying that ethics are somewhat subjective, right? What might be okay for one person is going to be totally unacceptable for another person. In this video, I'm just going to tell you my ethics and explain to you my logic behind them and why I truly believe that this set of ethics is what's going to give you the most long-term success. When it comes to lying, I'm okay with white lies, but that's very different than substantial lies. So a white lie might be something like, you know, if you're 10 minutes late to a date and a girl asks you, and the reason you're late is because you were like fucking stuck on a toilet because you had diarrhea, instead of telling her that, you're like, oh, I hit some traffic. Or let's say for you live 15 minutes away.
Well, did you hit some traffic or not?
From the place, or girl's like, hey, how much further is it? And you're like, oh, it's like 10 to 12 minutes, right? That is a white lie. Or for example, let's say you're 5'11".
I'm not liking this already.
And you say 6 foot on Tinder. Again, that's another white lie. Now, that's quite different than substantial lies. Substantial lies, if you're like...
Is it? Is it really? How are you gonna... You see, the moment you start lying in any way whatsoever, now, who gets to define how far is a lie? So say, for example, you know, whatever, you say you're 5'11", and you say you're 6 foot. What if you're 5'10"? What if you're 5'9"? What if you're 5'4"? Like, at what point does it become a lie, and at what point is it a white lie?
5'5", and you show you're 6 feet on Tinder, right? That is a substantial lie. Or for example, if the girl asks you, what are you looking for, and you just want to fucking smash and move on.
So who gets to decide what a substantial lie is and what a white lie is? If it's subjective according to how you perceive it to be. This is what I'm saying. Now you're playing a game. The way that I see masculinity, it's about saying something true to yourself that you believe to be true, because we don't know what the truth is, but we can say things that we believe to be true. We cannot lie to ourselves. We can speak with integrity and honesty, and it's a very masculine thing to do. By being honest, you can speak with conviction, and when you speak with conviction, you're speaking with confidence, and that's what women are attracted to. Now, I don't say that you should do that in order to attract women. This is where I don't play the game. I say it because I think that that's what you should do to like yourself. And the more self-respect you have, and the more attracted you are to yourself, the more you like yourself, the more it allows other people to like you. Whereas when you're lying, cheating and deceiving, the whitest lie, it's sort of like, again, like with cheating, well, I only put the tip of my dick in, it doesn't count. Or what? How many inches does count? Because the moment that you do wrong by yourself, forget what everyone else says, because you can bullshit people all day long if you want to, but you're bullshitting yourself. You're white lying to yourself. You're breaking your contract with reality. Even just a little bit, even just a little bit gets enough in to be able to, for people to leverage it against you. I mean, that's how politicians get trapped a lot of the time, by the news interviewers. So, you know, everyone to their own, but I don't think that you should be doing any lies. That includes white lies.
But you tell her you're looking for, and under the pretense she fucks you. Or for example, you lie about your career because you're secretly unemployed, right? Those are substantial lies. And the real litmus test that I use is, if after you fuck the girl, you told her that you were lying about this thing, is she gonna find it funny, or is she gonna get pissed off, right? So, after you have...
Again, this is another thing that pickup artists kind of do, is they think on behalf of the girl all the time, and I don't care what the girl thinks about, I care what I think about. So, oh, what will the girl think? Who cares what the girl thinks? They're always worried about perceived sexual market value from the perspective view of a female, a generic female. And I don't think about that. I think about me and what I want. And I put myself forthrightly out there in the world, and I interact with people, and I judge whether they're good enough to meet me, not if I'm good enough to meet them. And all these pickup artist guys say, well, if you do this, if you speak like this, if you're funny here, if you do this little song and dance here, then she might say yes. And it's all based on what she wants. And it's crazy to me. It's the exact opposite way that you should be doing things. But again, everyone has different techniques, everyone to their own. You know, I'm sure it works for this guy and, you know, the other guys that he teaches or mentors or whatever, but it's the opposite of what I'd like to do. Same as in magic. When I did magic tricks, I could do loads of different magic tricks, and guys had different ways of doing it. It's not what one's right or wrong, they're just different.
Nice with a girl and be like, hey, listen, the real reason I was late is because I was stuck in the toilet and I was really embarrassed to tell you. Like, do you think a girl's gonna get pissed off? She's probably gonna have a laugh at that. Or if you're like, hey, I gotta be honest about something. I know I said 6 foot on Tinder, but I'm really 5'11". She's probably gonna find that funny, right? She's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Or if you're like, hey, listen.
Well, from my experience, women tend to have height as an important preference in their mate selection. So again, it's like if somebody lies about their income, or if somebody lies with regards to what they look like in a photo. A lie is a lie, a deception is a deception. You know, and you know, first interactions matter, and or first impressions matter, should I say, and if you're lying from the get-go, then well, where is it gonna go from there? And fuck the relationship with a girl. Like, the best relationship you're ever going to have is the one with yourself. And you can't lie to yourself. You just can't do it without breaking a contract with yourself. And breaking your own integrity and breaking your own ethics by which you are looking for and screening for other people from. Because the moment that you accept a white lie from yourself, you then accept a white lie from the girl. Now, what's classed as a white lie and what isn't? And who gets to decide? Well, if it's subjective, like this gentleman's saying, then she gets to decide from her perspective. This is why you should never do it from the girl's perspective. You should always do things, put a high standard on yourself, and see who's worthy of meeting you at that high level. This might not be making sense because I'm kind of spiffballing a load of shit here, but yeah, let's see what else he's got to say. I've said a lot in the first 2 minutes. It's a very passionate subject of mine because, like I say, I have relationships based on honesty, trust, and respect. So honesty is a big thing for me. So the moment I'm in a relationship, whether it's somebody you're dating, or whether it's listening to myself, or whether it's someone you're in business with, and I'm telling myself white lies, I'm telling her white lies, I'm telling white lies to my business partner, I don't feel good about myself.
I know I said, you know, I live 10 minutes away, but actually it was like a 15-minute walk. I was just a little nervous that would be too far for you. She's going to probably laugh at that, right? But if you're like, oh, yeah, and, you know, I just told you that I want a relationship, but actually I'm interested in just having sex with you and that's it, she's going to get pissed off. She's going to get upset. Or if you're like, hey, you know, I told you how I work at this company.
Which is why it's better to be honest from the outset and say what your true intentions are. And some girls would be up for it if you just said, look, I just after a one-night stand. And some girls would be up for that and some wouldn't.
Well, I'm actually homeless, or I'm actually unemployed. She's going to get pissed off, right? So that's the litmus test I use. Is the girl going to find it funny, or is she going to get pissed off by it, right? So that's the difference between white lie and substantial lies. I'm totally okay with white lies, but I'm not okay with the substantial lies. Now, I think there's a lot of people in the pickup.
And so my question then to you would be, where's the line? And where is the line for when people lie to you? that you decide that if something's a white lie or a substantial lie.
Community who sometimes go way too far and actually substantial lies for the sake of getting laid. And that might give them more short-term benefits, but I think long-term, it comes back and bites you in the ass. First of all, I think it's just unethical. But second of all, like when the girl finds out later on that you're lying, and usually they do find out in the end, she's either going to break up with you or she's going to be upset at you. And either way, it's just going to be a negative outcome. There's a reason why, you know, despite all the girls I've hooked up with, all the relationships I've been, I've never really had like a bad experience with a girl I had sex with. Yeah, I've had like a few situations with a girl that like I turned down because they didn't look at their photos and they got butthurt and sent me some mean texts. But with the girls that I actually slept with, I've never really had them get pissed off afterwards. I've never had a bad breakup. I've never had any kind of messy situation like that. Again, because I'm really straightforward and honest, right? And I think girls will respect you a lot more if you do that. And actually, speaking of that, I found a pretty interesting clip where Dan Bilzerian is talking about literally the same thing.
I don't want to lie about, you know, what I do or who I hang out with or whatever. So like, if you're not okay with it, it's probably better that we break up because I don't plan on changing. So I think a lot of them, you know, and a lot of times like they'll say, oh, you know, did you have sex with that girl last night? And I'll say, yeah, I did. And I think there's like a part of it that's, you know, that's tough for them to hear and they hate it. But then there's another part that like they can appreciate the honesty, and it's very rare. Like it's very rare in this world because a lot of people will, you know, tell lies to, you know, protect other people's feelings or, you know, just to make it easier.
Yeah, and he's 100% right. Like,
and yeah, I agree 100% with what you just said there.
he's basically saying, hey, my policy is basically I'm very honest and transparent with girls, and they respect that more. It may be like an inconvenient truth in the beginning, but they will respect you and appreciate you more, and it builds a lot of trust. And that's exactly how I feel. And I think that is what it takes to be successful.
So there you go. Being honest builds trust. So he gets it. And then the third one is respect. They're the three things I base it on. But the more pick-up artistry you are, and the more you worry about what the girl is thinking about, and the more you try and supplicate to women, whether as an alpha or a beta male, because both do it, because they're caring too much about what the other person thinks. They're not, like, you're the most important person in the relationship, and what you think about yourself should matter the most.
For long term. And I think in some ways it's going to be very refreshing for a girl to finally meet a guy who's not going to lie to her in order to get laid. Like, hey, this is a guy who is actually honest, and as a result of that, she might be more likely to sleep with you or be in a relationship with you because she's like, whoa, I feel more comfortable with you because you're actually transparent and honest, right? So I think transparent.
Absolutely, and I agree with transparency and authenticity. This is what I'm talking. This is more of what I'm talking about now. And so I think he's very close. It's just hitting the head on that white lies thing, and I think that'd be better for the individual that's telling the white lies, more so than it would be for the relationships. It inadvertently benefits the relationships.
This is important. I think honesty is important, with the exception of small little white lies. Again, and the litmus test I mentioned is the girl going to find it, or is she going to be upset by it? So that's the first thing. I think also.
Yeah, so the litmus test should be based on what you think of you, not what she thinks of you. This is what the whole pickup artist industry has got completely backwards, and it's no dig at this guy here. You know, he's doing a good job here. Like, I'm agreeing with like 90% of what he's saying, but this last 10% with the white lies, I just don't agree with. And the reason why I don't agree with them is for the exact opposite reasons as the way we approach dating. He's approaching dating from what will the girl think about this, and I'm approaching dating thinking, what do I think of the girl? And that's the absolute complete difference in the way in which we approach it. And it's the most important difference as far as I'm concerned.
So there's some guys in the pickup community who use dark triad tactics. These are things like manipulation, gaslighting, all stuff like that. I think you should generally avoid that. I think that has a potential, again, first of all, it's very unethical. Second of all, you can get into a lot of situations where, you know, the girl gets pissed off at you. Maybe there's even a charge that's being filed because she feels really deceived. But I think third, most importantly, that shit just comes back to bite you in the ass later on. Like, I think that kind of, again, I'm not a believer in karma or anything like that, but I do think that, you know, you put out that kind of energy out there, at some point the girl is going to find out. Maybe she's going to tell stories to her friends. Maybe you're going to wind up in some Facebook group or something like that, right? And that's just going to.
Yeah, and women use, like I say, they lie a lot, and they're very well known for reputation destruction. And so if somebody's destroying your reputation and you've told a white lie, they've got something on you now, you fucker. Whereas if you have told the truth and you can speak and be completely transparent, and it just shows at their lie, and you're bulletproof. So it's really good to just hit the nail on the head of those little white lies that creep up, because those little white lies can turn into big lies. Because let's use an example here. Let's say, oh, I'm going to tell a little white lie and I'm 5'11", I'm going to say I'm 6 foot. Oh, well, and then I'll go out with a load of girls and all the girls are telling me they're after a guy that's 6'4". So now I'm saying, oh, I'll go on my profile and I'm 6'1", I'm 6'2", I'm 6'3", and it's evil starts with 10%. It's a gradual decline. It's like if you've seen Breaking Bad, it started off with really good intentions, but he ended up as a bad guy because it was the path to hell. The moment you tell the smallest white lie, this is why it's so important to be with what Jordan Peterson says, to be so as much as precise as you can with your speech. Again, not for anyone else, but just for your own sanity, so you don't break your contract with reality.
Come back and bite you in the ass long term. So it's better just be honest and upfront from the start and avoid like some of the heavy dark triad tactics. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable and show me that you're not alive by smashing the like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell for notification. Consider sharing this video with a friend as well. Let us know in the comments what your personal set of ethics are when it comes to dating. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.
Well, instead of writing in the comments, I've made a video and I've told you my personal ethics of dating, and it's based on honesty, trust and respect. And you covered honesty in this video. You touched upon trust, because honesty builds trust, but also respect builds trust. And so you'll get more respect, and women tend to have sex with men that they respect. And also it's like, forget what they want. It's based on you being the best version of yourself. The other thing as well is, I do so many of these videos, like on dating and the family court and like really heavy stuff, and I'll be doing some more later on, like you know, the New World Order and shit. And there's so many real problems out there in the world. There's so many things against you that knowing what to say to a girl should be easy. And yet there's all these videos done by this gentleman and other guys on here, like what to message her for this, what to do with this, what to say when she says this. And there's so much thinking involved, and when you follow what I do, you don't need to think. You don't need to play games. You don't need to worry about how she's going to react, because you're acting out of honesty. So that's all you have to be. It's the most cliched advice on the internet. Just be yourself. But a lot of people don't know how to be themselves, especially when they're around someone they're attracted to. They put on a persona, they put on an ego, they put on a falsehood, and they feel that they're not good enough. But they are good enough. And once they realise they're good enough, everything else is easy. And sometimes you've got to be very careful about the influences that you allow into your perceptions. Like, I sell a product and it will be advertised at the end of this video. And in my product, I tell you what to message a girl for online dating success. And I give you the script exactly, but I tell you exactly why I'm saying each thing. And it makes perfect sense. And that then helps you allow to have an easier date for the rest of your interactions. And I highly recommend you get it, because once you understand the way that I approach things, everything else is easy. You don't need loads of videos to think, what shall I say when she does this? What shall I do when she says this? And all this kind of stuff, because you'll be making decisions from a place of integrity, as opposed from a place of trying to supplicate to somebody else, who sometimes they don't even give a fuck about you. And so you've got to care about yourself, respect yourself, and do what's right by you. So this is the second video I've done on this guy, and I agree with like 90% of what he says, and that last 10% I only disagree because we fundamentally have a different way of approaching this dating stuff. He thinks you can sprinkle the odd white lie here and there, and I don't think that you can. That's the fundamental difference between what we're saying by the looks of it. And the other thing is you should be dating for you, not for what the girl wants. Fuck what she wants. You're the most important person in the relationship. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter how they feel. But you've got to anesthetize yourself from it. And once you do that, and once you can be on a date because you want to be there, you can then pay attention to the girl better, and you can empathize better based on what she says, not based on what you think she wants. You'll be a better listener to the girl because you won't be making assumptions about her based on what you think she wants. You'll actually only be caring about what you want, and then be able to actually empathetically listen to her accurately, and judge her behavior appropriately from a place of having honest perceptions. And I think the white lies, forget what the girl wants, they'll corrupt yourself, they'll corrupt your soul, And I think that's why you should stay away from them, because they're very seductive. It's like the first bite of cake. Just stay away from sugar. Hello, my name is Doug, and I've created a video tutorial called What to Message a Girl for Online Dating Success. The reason why I've created this product is to help those men out there who are dating online but are not getting the replies or getting the dates that they desire. My product will teach you what to message a girl, what not to message a girl, when to message a girl, how to respond when you're not sure what to write, what to do if she doesn't reply, how to get her phone number, and how to communicate to get online dating success. If you're getting matches and no success, this product is for you. It's what you need to do today to start getting success with your matches. I'll also be talking about other issues such as how to spot red flags, identify time wasters, to stay out the friend zone, how to deal with ghosting, simmering and icing. Not only will I be giving you exactly what you need, copy and paste, I'll also be explaining to you the reason why I'm writing what I'm writing, so you can understand the psychology and know what behaviours to look out for and which ones to avoid. This product is packed with value. I've tried to cram as much as I can into a short amount of time as possible while being the most informative. If you're a man and you're confused and frustrated with what to text with online dating, this product is the solution for you to get more dates in less time. Click the link in the description box below to buy the product and change your dating life forever.